Okay, so animating on the Surface Pro, is it possible? Is it doable? Is it recommended? Um, I'm gonna start off this video by saying that I've been doing it for almost 2 years now, and this is a Surface Pro 4. This is like not even the newest one. I know the seven's out now, and this is one of the things I've completely done on the Surface Pro. This is a Tesla Model 3. I'm not completely finished with it. I'm still working on it, still adding some stuff. But yeah, I did this all completely on the Surface, um, touchscreen and everything. So let me show you what the render, I guess, kind of looks like. And the Surface Pro is pretty good at handling a lot of stuff, surprisingly, when it comes to 3D. I know a lot of people wouldn't be expecting that. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I see a lot of 3D animators afraid to go for the Surface. Maybe they think it's not powerful enough, or maybe they think it's not reliable enough. So yeah, I'm not gonna make it render the whole thing out. But yeah, I did all this on the Surface Pro. Now, is this better than using a supercomputer? Probably not. But this thing can get the job done, and it's has a lot of perks to it. So I'm not just gonna show off Maya. I'm gonna show off a lot of other 3D applications like ZBrush. I'm also gonna show off Substance Painter for texturing. But I want to talk about the pros and cons of animating on a Surface Pro 4. Now, another thing I want to bring up when it comes to Maya is the touchscreen controls on the Surface. They come in really handy. You know, two fingers to pan or zoom in, zoom out. One to rotate. And one thing you'll notice is I can't select an object with my finger. This is because Maya actually has palm rejection. The only way I can select this object is with my pen. And I can literally only move it with my pen. And this is really good because this allows me to animate inside Maya without my palm accidentally selecting something. And you see that other apps don't have this, and that's like a huge disadvantage. But that's something Maya has that's really cool. And Photoshop has it too. And a lot of apps that don't have it right now are apparently trying to update it to work with palm rejection. So more apps will get it in the future. Here's ZBrush running on the Surface Pro. And one thing I would say about ZBrush is it runs really smooth on the Surface Pro. You can find other videos of people testing this out too. I know Tablet Pro does it, and this thing can handle ZBrush literally no problem. I think it handles it better than Maya, even though it handles Maya no problem either, as you saw with my car, which I would say has a decent amount of polys. Didn't lag at all with Maya. But this is my first character model that I ever made for school, so please don't make fun of me. But yeah, I did all this on the Surface Pro. Uh, didn't do this on any other computer. Um, Literally modeled the whole thing on the Surface Pro, even the accessories. And yeah, I think ZBrush runs really well. The fans never turn on. I don't think when I use ZBrush. Sometimes when I use Maya, especially if I have Render Man going, the fans will turn on. Or if I'm just, you know, making a lot of polys. But ZBrush never makes the fans turn on at all. And it never lags. Basically all the programs you're going to see me show you today don't really lag at all on the Surface Pro. At least I haven't witnessed it myself. And one thing I will say about ZBrush is, unlike Maya, this doesn't. Sorry, this doesn't have palm rejection. So what that means is if I put my palm up against the screen when I animate, it means I can accidentally select the mesh, which is not that not good. But this problem can easily be fixed by wearing a drawing glove. You know, the gloves that cover up your pinky and your ring finger. I have one, but I lost it, so I would show that off, but I gotta find it. But yeah, if you don't want your palm to select something inside a ZBrush, you have to wear a drawing glove because your palm can actually, as you can see, this doesn't have palm rejection like Maya. But I heard from sources that they're working on that, so that could be something to look forward to in the future. But as of right now, it's an easy fix. Just wear a drawing glove, and you won't have to worry about accidentally selecting your mesh inside a ZBrush. But yeah, if you're looking for a computer just to do ZBrush stuff, I can say that the Surface Pro can handle it no problem. So here's Substance Painter, and I have I guess you can say a heavily layered book I made in school, and doing this with one hand is gonna be really hard. One of the cool things about Substance Painter is it uses the same shortcut keys as Maya. So when I use the Wacom remote with Substance Painter, I can literally just copy over Maya's shortcut keys and literally have the same setup. But I think just like ZBrush, yeah, it does not, I think, have palm rejection. So as if you're gonna touch over here or have your hand over here, then wearing a drawing glove would be smart. But let's see if I can do this with one hand. As you can see, there's literally no lag. And I did all this on the Surface Pro. This whole entire thing. I just want to go over some of the tools I use. This is the Wacom remote. I use this to basically go keyboardless. I basically don't really use the keyboard at all inside the softwares that I use. And I use the stock Surface pen. I even use the pen inside Maya, which some people may find that crazy, but I know I'm not the only one who does it, so. But yeah, I use the pen inside Maya. I basically use Wacom remote in my left hand and pen in my right for every software I use, except for compositing software, I guess. And yeah, I use this for shortcuts. It's able to cover all my shortcut keys. If I do want to use a keyboard in Maya, I'll just use the pop-up keyboard, and I'll use it to quickly name meshes or stuff like that. And that's about all I use the on-screen keyboard for. And yeah, I just stick to my remote and my stylus. Now I want to end this video off by talking about the pros and cons of animating on a Surface Pro. Let's talk about the pros first. The touchscreen. Being able to use Maya with touchscreen controls. And when you do it for a long period of time, you get used to it to the point where animating without touch screen controls are weird. Like I'll be hanging out with my friend, and he'll have like Maya open on his laptop or on his MacBook, and when I try to look at his animation, I'll actually like stick my fingers on a screen and try to zoom in, which he gets mad about. And that's something that you'll probably do if you animate on a touchscreen a lot. But you get really used to touchscreen controls, and they really make your workflow faster. And the other pro is the portability of the Surface Pro. I mean, this thing's only 12 inches, and I can take it anywhere. I can take it on the go. I can animate at a restaurant. I can animate basically in my car, anywhere. I can animate anywhere. Animate anywhere with the Surface Pro. But now let's talk about the cons. Honestly, I think as of right now, I can only name one con, and that's rendering. Rendering and on the Surface Pro 4 can take a while, and this is probably better with the newer Surfaces because of their better specs. And if you are gonna animate 3D animate on the Surface Pro, you want to get the maxed out spec one. You don't want to get anything lower than an i7 or 16 gigabytes of RAM. This is the maxed out Surface Pro 4, by the way. But this thing doesn't really render as fast as, some of the other 3D computers, like, like a supercomputer or a gaming computer or like an Asus or. But if you are concerned about rendering, then the best thing to do is probably go for the Surface Book, because I hear the Surface Book has no problems rendering at all. This was something that I wanted. So Thunderbolt 3 is something that a lot of people have been asking for on the Surface, and if they added Thunderbolt 3 to the Surface Pro, which they didn't, to the Surface Pro 7, I was really sad when they didn't add Thunderbolt 3 to the Surface Pro 7. But if they did, we could plug in an external graphics card, and rendering would be a lot faster, a lot better on the Surface Pro. We would have things rendered out in seconds. Because the reason why the Surface Pro takes so long to render is because it's using an Iris graphics card, a not really high-end graphics card. But I will say that this thing renders out probably around the same speed as a MacBook Pro. I know because I have a MacBook Pro. So this doesn't feel really any different than a lot of standard computers, but you're not going to be rendering out as fast as like a supercomputer. So that is the downfall. And if that concerns you, then go for the Surface Book, because the Surface Book has a high-end graphics card in it, so it will be able to render things out fast. But that's going to be your only con, really animating on the Surface Pro, is rendering. So I hope you enjoyed this low budget video. I just wanted to, talk about this because I see some animators dodging the Surface Pro, and I just want to make this video to show you all that it can do it. It can handle it. So yeah.